how to cure all diseases, specifically chronic diseases. Chronic diseases such as ALS, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancer, heart diseases, depression, osteoporosis, obesity, Parkinson's disease are all at rise. Doctors say that we do not have a cure for these diseases, and whatever medication we do have can only suppress the symptoms. Almost $3 trillion or $3,000 billion are invested every single year in order to find cures for these chronic diseases. Even if you were able to save 1% of the $3 trillion, that would be equal to $30 billion, which is exactly equal to the GDP of Norway and Denmark, which are one of the most developed countries in the world. One of the main reasons that doctors believe there are no cures for these diseases is because doctors are just focused on relieving symptoms and half the time not even bothered to find out the cause of these diseases. These diseases are considered to be complex, but what if I told you that all these diseases have one primary cause? And before we talk about that one primary cause, let's understand a few of these chronic diseases. These are the 10 diseases in which the world spends almost $2.5 trillion on. We are talking about cancer, diabetes, depression, hypertension, Alzheimer's, heart diseases, multiple sclerosis, osteoporosis, arthritis, and Parkinson's disease. So what we'll be doing together is we will be arriving at that one primary cause for all these diseases. Let's start with something as simple as diabetes, right? So what is diabetes? Diabetes is a situation in which a person has high blood sugars and his body or pancreas is not producing enough insulin in order to bring down the blood sugar, right? To bring down the sugar levels. Now, one of the main reasons why people even end up having diabetes is because their nutrition consists of a lot of sugar or carbohydrates, and every single time you have carbohydrates, your body needs to produce insulin in order to lower your blood sugars down. Now, here's a very interesting fact. In order for a human to have healthy levels of, stable blood sugar, a person needs only 1 tablespoon of sugar in order to maintain healthy blood levels of sugar. And now what we actually derive from why people even get diabetes is because of a very poor nutrition where they have a huge amount of carbohydrates. Now let's look into something like Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a neurodegenerative disease, and in fact doctors now believe and consider it to be type 3 diabetes. Now Alzheimer's is a situation in which the neurons in the brain die in a huge scale, due to which there is a loss in memory. Guess what? Sugar kills neurons. Let me repeat this. Sugar kills neurons. And where do you get sugar from? Your nutrition, the diet that you follow. So over here you can notice that Alzheimer's again is caused because of high amounts of carbohydrates in the diet. It is not natural for people to get Alzheimer's when they become old. That's one of the cures for Alzheimer's disease is following a ketogenic diet. In ketogenic diet, you have almost zero carbs, or it's a diet in which you have low carbs and high fats. You know why high fats help out the brain? Because your brain is made out of fats. So it makes sense that if you put fats into your body that your brain is made of, your brain is going to rebuild itself. It's similar to like muscles. What happens when you go to gym? You break down your muscles, then you have protein in order to rebuild your muscle. Why? Because that's what your muscles are made out of. And guess what? Your brain is made out of fats. That's why you intake fats in order to rebuild your brain. That's why one of the cures for Alzheimer's, a neurodegenerative disease, is to follow a ketogenic diet. Now let's look at something like cancer. Guess what? Cancer's primary source of fuel is sugar. And without sugar, cancer cells cannot survive. So if you cut off the sugar, cancer cells die. That's how simple it's to cure cancer. Therefore, where do you get sugar from? Your nutrition. Does it sound really similar how these diseases are caused? They are caused because of poor nutrition. Now let's look into something like depression. Now, why is depression caused? Depression is caused because of lack of neurogenesis in the brain. Neurogenesis is the ability of the brain to create new neurons. And when the brain does not create new neurons, a person becomes depressed. Antidepressants such as serotonin or SSRIs, which basically increase the level of neurochemical known as serotonin, because serotonin helps in increasing neurogenesis in the brain. And when your brain is not able to produce new neurons, then a person becomes depressed. And guess what? People who are not able to produce more number of neurons is mainly because of their nutrition again. It's because high amounts of sugar kill neurons and therefore prevent neurogenesis, due to which a person tends to become depressed. Notice, all these diseases are spoken till now about are caused because of nutritional deficiencies or poor nutrition. Now let's look at something like hypertension and heart diseases. Now, did you know that what if I told you hypertension is also caused because of a nutritional deficiency or poor nutrition? People usually have a high carbohydrate diet because people believe that carbohydrates or sugar is a person's main source of fuel, whereas it's not, it's fats. I've spoken about that in my previous video. But over here, if you look into it, what sugars do is it not only increases insulin, it also increases something known as cortisol. Cortisol is also known as your stress hormone. Anytime you feel stress, anytime you feel your heart beating really fast, it's because of cortisol. You're stressed, you're angry, you're unhappy, it's because of cortisol. Alright, cortisol is the hormone that makes you feel like this, and it increases only if you have high amounts of sugar, because one of the things cortisol does is it tries to shove in sugar into your muscles and into your cells. And now what you're doing is, when you have these high amount of sugars, you increase your cortisol, you increase the amount of stress that you have, and therefore your heart rate increases. Heart rate increases high blood pressure, and chronically having high blood pressure increases your risk for many heart diseases. And over here, heart diseases and hypertension again links to something very simple: poor nutrition. So if you look into all these chronic diseases, they are caused because of poor nutrition. Changing your nutrition and having a healthy nutrition can completely change your life. Note, we spend $3 trillion every single year on trying to find these cures for these diseases, whereas the cure has already been known to us, and it is changing our nutrition. Even if you're able to save 1% of it, 1% of $3 trillion, that's equal to $30 billion. That's equal to the GDP of Norway, Denmark, Iceland. Those are one of the world's most developed countries. There's a GDP equivalent to that. A lot of doctors who have even understood and are spreading messages for all around the world to say that you can cure all these chronic diseases by changing nutrition. In fact, this is also going to be one of the leading treatments for curing these chronic diseases by the year 2030 under personalized medication, and it's called as mitochondrial metabolic therapy. It's a fancy name for just saying that they're gonna put you in a really good nutrition that will not only help you to prevent these chronic diseases, but will allow you to live your life to its happiest and fullest and to its complete potential. You don't have to wait till 2030 in order to follow the mitochondrial metabolic therapy. You have the vast amount of information that you require in order to change your nutrition. You need to change your nutrition not because you have to prevent these chronic diseases. You have to change your nutrition so that you can live your life to its complete potential, have superhuman performance, and be happy throughout your life. And as a side effect, you prevent these chronic diseases. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please do share this video with your friends and family members, and also do check out my video on how to cure cancer using the power of vitamin D3 and by cutting out sugar. I do present you with a lot of important information that I guess can help you to change your life and also change someone else's life. Please do also subscribe so that you can be notified every single time I upload videos like this. And thank you so much for watching, and remember, keep being awesome.